Welcome to the Cafecito Connect podcast. I'm your host, Laura Marquez, Internal Audit Manager here at Prudential. I use the she and her pronouns, and I'm an advocate for community initiatives. Today, we had a very special guest with us, Dr. Ivonne Diaz-Claisse, the CEO and founder of HISPA. Welcome, Dr. Ivonne.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just very excited to be here and celebrating the importance of connections.
Definitely. Thank you so much. So, as part of this podcast, we will be talking about various topics impacting the Latino community and the different initiatives brought to you by Prudential and the Juntos Business Resource Group, which is for our Latino and Hispanic members. All right. So, let's talk a bit about your story. What made you found HISPA, and then what is the story behind the organization and its purpose?
Absolutely. But once again, thank you for having me. I was part of an employee resource group similar to Juntos. And I always felt that there was so much to be done in the community. And I started feeling a bit frustrated that it would take so much of our time to coordinate activities in the community. And I wanted to make sure that we could figure out a way to be more efficient. So combine that desire and that vision with a moment in which I was invited to share my story at a school. And I remember walking in that school, seeing an auditorium filled with beautiful faces, and the principal acknowledging that over 95% of the students were of Latino heritage. At the end, after I shared my story, some of the students wanted my autograph. And that was so validating to me. I understood at that point that we needed to do something about it. How do we connect more Latino professionals with our youth? How can we do that in a way that is efficient and impactful? And that's how HISPA was born.
Awesome. And it's so incredible to see how it all started here at Newark,
Yes.
where our main offices for Prudential are. So it's really impactful seeing that you guys are making a difference for the youth, and everything started here where we are located. All right. So how did the relationship between HISPA and Prudential and our Juntos BRG started?
So, it's at the beginning was very grassroots. There was two individuals at Prudential that became involved with our organization all the way back since 2008, 2009. But then that relationship started to be built. There was new people we got to meet from Prudential, to the point that in 2019, Prudential opened their arms for us to host one of our most important events, our kickoff and recruiting event. This is an event that we host during Hispanic Heritage Month. And we had over 100 Latino professionals that joined us that day here at your offices. From there was then kind of the next step. How can we collaborate to bring students into your facilities so that the students get to see and meet Prudential employees and see this amazing world that they're not exposed to. And so we hosted a few what we call Imagine Days. Later on, now during the pandemic, we had individuals at Prudential that volunteer to record their stories. We have built what we call a HISPA role model program on demand, where schools can access videos of Latino professionals. So we have volunteers that help us with that. And fast forward to this week, we had our youth conference, which is a very special event where we bring over 150 students to a university campus. And this year, for the first time, we were able to host that event at Montclair State University. And we could not have done that without Prudential and Juntos volunteers. We have over 20 volunteers from Juntos helping us make that dream come true.
Amazing. And I was part of that youth conference, and it was really impactful seeing the experiences that the kids were having. Like for most of them, it was the first time of them stepping into a college campus and seeing how all that new world for them works, and also being part of a full day full of workshops and different STEM initiatives that were brought to them by the volunteers. So let's talk a bit about what is the impact that we're making for those children, and then also the impact for the volunteers.
Yes, so you have to think about the fact that by 2036, 1 in 3 students in our public schools will be of Latino heritage. There's communities like PASEAC, where over 92% of the students in that school system are of Latino heritage. So this is the future workforce. And when we look at some of the barriers that these students have and face every day, one of them is the lack of exposure to professionals that are of similar heritage, but that also demonstrate the pathways through education to the highly skilled careers. So when we connect you with the students, we are truly eradicating one of the barriers that the students have, which is the lack of role models in their lives that showcase those pathways. So having you visit the schools through the HISPA role model program, or bringing the students here, or all together going to the university campus, we are showcasing to the students what's possible. We're validating their dreams. And as you saw at the youth conference, we're igniting the actions that they need to take to achieve their dreams. So it is all about that. But then you think about the volunteers, and the volunteers are also experiencing something amazing. They're experiencing a moment where they can be proud of their heritage, proud of their accomplishments. They can celebrate all of that. They can celebrate everything that our parents and grandparents did to support us to achieve our own dreams. So it is a really beautiful moment for the volunteers. I believe that it's not only HISPA not only is about the corporate social responsibility, but HISPA is also about volunteer engagement, about employee retention, and of course, celebrating diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Definitely, yes, and providing to the employees in these organizations that partner with you those initiatives that make an impact, like being part of it, like it was fantastic. As you mentioned at the beginning, this was my first time where kids at the end of the session were asking for my autograph, and I was writing the messages and making sure I put something there that it was related to think big, dream big, so you can shoot for the stars, which was definitely brought into the conversation as part of the youth conference. So it's really impactful to see everything that we're doing and everything that we can be part of as part of the BRGs that the companies offer, and also that Prudential has this partnership with you to be able to be part of all these initiatives. So let's talk a bit more about the upcoming events. What can we look forward to? What are the different initiatives that we will be working together in the future?
Yeah, so once again, as we speak, we're still working in the HISPA role model program. So volunteers from Juntos and Prudential can step into classrooms to share their stories. We also are planning in November, I believe for November, an Imagine Day, where we will bring students into the corporation. And also, we're looking forward to supporting your summit, which is going to be hosted in October. And for that, we are working to bring students that are in college. And the idea here is HISPA has a special initiative where we're working with cohorts of college students to support them into becoming the future role models. Actually, I say future, but they are, as part of their training and professional development that they receive from our organization, they're becoming volunteers and they're going into the schools to share their stories. In addition, we will bring them also to Prudential so that they can have this opportunity of mentoring. And once again, the challenges in the Latino educational pipeline are not only middle school or high school, they also translate to college. Many of them are still having this self-doubt if they belong in these communities, in these colleges, in these universities, and they struggle to have that sense of belonging. So when we support the university, we partner with university, we partner with Prudential, we're able to build that sense of belonging that's so important for anyone to succeed. So, I'm just really excited about seeing the partnership between Prudential, HISPA, the colleges and universities that we work with, and the public schools. If you think about it, this is critical for the future of this country. We have to work together, public and private sector, to make sure that we have that successful future workforce.
Definitely. And I think it's really important. It's a really important work and meaningful what you're doing. And I'm so glad to be part of it. And just want to make sure I thank to everybody that has already signed up to be a role model. And if you haven't, make sure you do. And as part of the Juntos Annual Summit, everybody at Prudential will have the opportunity to register for to be one of those mentors as part of the coaching circles. So with that, I just want to thank you for joining us today, Dr. Ivonne. It was really good to learn about what Prudential is doing in partnership with HISPA and the different initiatives that we have.
But thank you, because your support makes our mission a reality. HISPA's mission is to inspire Latino students to discover their potential and ignite their desire to embrace education and achieve success. This is something that we cannot do alone. So we are just super grateful to Prudential, to Juntos, and leaders like you that open more doors for our message and our work to be known.
Thank you. Thank you so much. To all our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for being here with us. Let's keep doing some more meaningful connections together.